Hello, thank you for joining us on Biology Weekly. Today we'll be talking about a very important and interesting question. Does the mother determine the sex of the child? The answer is no. It is actually the father who is responsible for the sex of the child. And today in this video, we'll see how. Historically, and even now, in many communities, in many countries, it is always the woman or the mother who is blamed for giving birth to a daughter or a child who is not a son. Scientifically, it is wrong to blame a woman for the sex of the child because it has been proven and scientifically, and we know from very basic, simple genetics that it is the father who is responsible for the sex of the child. It is also inhuman to treat your daughter or a child who is any other gender differently from your son. And one more disclaimer before we move ahead. There are more than two genders. So there is not only man, woman, but there are other genders too. And this has been seen across the animal kingdom, which means that in many animals, including humans, it has been scientifically shown and observed that there are more than two genders. So we should love everyone and respect everyone, irrespective of their genders. And with this, we'll go to our question. Does the mother determine the sex of the child? The answer is no, it's the father, and we'll see how. And as I said, historically, like this example here, King Henry VIII of England is known to have even executed some of his wives, partly because they could not give him a male heir. And this is scientifically wrong because we have 23 pairs of chromosomes and 23 pairs of chromosomes as shown in this picture. The two chromosomes within the pairs, they look alike to each other. But the last one, the sex chromosome, the 23rd pair, has XY chromosomes. And as you can see, the Y chromosome is shorter as compared to the X chromosome. And it is, in fact, this that determines the sex of the children. And we'll see how soon. And the chart below, you can see it shows all the chromosomes and the amount of DNA inside them. From our previous videos, you know that in the chromosomes we have DNA, and in the DNA we have genes. And it is the genes that determine the sex of our children. So you can see the last one, the Y chromosome, has very little amount of DNA as compared to the sex X chromosome, and also compared to many other chromosomes in the body. So coming back to the sex chromosomes, XY, if you're XX, then you're women, and all your daughters will be XX. And if you're XY, then you're the father, and all your sons will be XY. And there are many other possibilities too, like there are XXX, XXY, but today we'll only focus on XX and XY. So mother is XX and father is XY. That's how it is. So mothers, both the chromosomes that the mother will have in the sex chromosomes, both the pairs will be XX, but for the father, it will be XY, which means all the daughters that you produce will be XX and all the sons that you produce will be XY. We'll see how. So this is a Punnett square, and this is actually used to see all the combinations that you can get from all the different genes. So take mother. Mother is XX, father XY. So if you take for the first X from the mother and the X from the father, it will be XX, so they will produce a daughter. And if you take the other X from the mother and the X from the father, it is still going to be XX. And again, we have daughter. But now if you take one X from the mother and Y from the father, you have XY, which means they have produced a son. And if you take, or a male, and if you take X, the other X from the mother, and if the father passes on the Y, then again you have XY, which means they have produced a male. So this way, you have all these combinations, and this way you have the possibilities of producing XX daughters or XY sons. And from this, what do you see? You see that a woman can only pass down X. It is the father that can pass down either X or Y, which means it's the father who is responsible for the sex of the child. However, we would like to mention here that it is the father who is responsible for the sex of the child, but it is not the father who is responsible or in control of whether he can pass on X or Y. It happens randomly without anyone's control. So randomly, either X or Y comes from the father, and that determines whether your child is daughter or son. But definitely, a woman is not responsible for the sex of the child. That is a very common misconception. And from this video, we hope that these common misconceptions are clarified. And we hope you will like, share, and subscribe this video. And if you have any comments, please put them in the comment section below. Please put your feedback also in the comment section below. And if there is any question that you would like us to address and make a video on, please put that also below in the comment section. Thank you for watching.